With the third pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the San Diego Chargers select Joey Bosa, defensive end, Ohio State.
Motor.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the WICR NFL Draft Show. If you're tuned in right now, the San Diego Chargers with the third pick in the draft select defensive end Joey Bosa out of Ohio State. Guys, I'm getting a lot of wows out of you here. I think this comes as to a little bit of a surprise here.
You know, it's so funny because it was not too long ago where Joey Bosa was the consensus best player in this draft. It wasn't even debatable. And then as the process dragged on, people started getting a lot less high on Joey Bosa. So coming into this pick, nobody knew what the Chargers were going to do. So I kind of told myself, oh, you can't be surprised here. Well, they surprised me and they went Bosa. And I think that it can be a great pick because I think Bosa can be great, but it really is... You know, it's interesting because a lot of people thought that offensive line was need. That's my only knock, is that I think offensive line might have been a better position to address. However, I do like Bosa, and I think that he can be very good. So, an interesting pick for the Chargers. They were in a position to take the player that they liked best, and that's clearly what they did with Bosa.
Anthony, before we go to you, let's go to our profile, and then we'll get your word right in.
Joey Bosa, defensive end, Ohio State. As a sophomore, he captured unanimous All-American honors and the Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year award as he led the conference with 21 tackles for a loss and 13.5 sacks. His junior year, not quite as impressive, but his hand usage and ability to generate push as a bull rusher should translate well to the NFL.
All right, Anthony, we got our profile in there. How surprised are you that the Chargers go with Bosa here instead of an offensive lineman?
I am surprised. I also thought that they could have taken Ramsey. I didn't know which one they were going to take, but I've been saying this for a long time. Even during the season last year, I was saying for the Giants, tank for Bosa. But I think he's a great player. I think he's the best defensive end I've seen in a while, and I think he'll work out great for them.
All right, Kevin. Now, the Chargers are a team where they could use help just about anywhere. Day one, Joey Bosa, an instant playmaker for them?
I definitely think so. He can definitely be very, very impactful. You know, the big knock on him was how his sophomore numbers dropped off to his junior year. Well, what happened was his junior year, he was commanding double, sometimes triple teams. And I think that was part of that reason. He's going to enter the draft, and the thing that kind of scared some people, some of these draft analysts, was it's not with speed, it's with technique that he beats you. So people wonder if against the more polished players at the NFL level, will that still succeed? And I think that obviously the Chargers are convinced that it will translate. And, you know, you watch last year's Super Bowl, and I think that this is kind of the effect that it's having. Edge rushers are going to be at a premium, and it's going to come for a high demand. Everybody's going to want to have them. Not on just one side of the ball, but on both sides. So I think that's why you see Bosa go 3, and if he pans out, it's going to be wonderful for the Chargers. Again, personally, I would have went for not only protection of Phillip Rivers, but an offensive lineman that can block and get Melvin Gordon going, someone who you paid a high price to move up for last year. So I still would have went offensive line, but I definitely think that Bosa has a tremendous opportunity to succeed while in San Diego, or depending if they eventually move to a different location.
The Chargers find their guy. The next team on the clock to find theirs, the Dallas Cowboys. Jersey, Joe Archino, Kevin Walsh, and Anthony Lazito. We're going to reload. We'll take you right back into the ESPN live coverage, and we will be back with the fourth pick in the draft.
That are going into the final year of their